Yo guys, it's Brian here. For YouTube purposes, this is kind of going to be a dual podcast and zombies challenge. As you guys know, I've already tried to do this map before, so retrying it again. Hopefully I can get to level 10, but either way, that's my spiel.
I don't understand. Why are you doing this? Why me? Travel where? Don't you get it? There's nothing left! Oh, how did you... What?
And I think also we're kind of getting screwed by the algorithm changing in the last 2 months.
Why me?
Because we were getting some pretty consistent numbers back during the WWF games. And the algorithm changed and we're in the toilet again, so...
Yeah. It is what... I mean, that's... the cycle is what it is. Obviously, it would be more concerning if that was our full time. We were trying to make more like actual legit money off of it versus something we really enjoy. I think that would be the one thing though, man. If we had started this shit back in college, imagine how much different. You know, who knows? Not saying we could have made a career out of it, but the amount of time we could have put while in college and then leading up to now would be insane.
We could have, oh yeah, definitely. With all the free time we would have had then, comparatively.
Oh, for sure. I mean, just like every YouTuber, man, your first couple videos, the thing that sucks a dick is like, you're so stiff and you're like, the intent to do good is there. And, you know, we had the idea, but goddamn, the delivery is stiff, the this and that. I think I've shared this before, but, you know, one of the ways, you know, because I've always been the editor for our site. And I thought, let me edit the video first, and we'll just talk to the video, because that will like make it easier. Because in my mind, I'm like, the video editing is the harder part, which it absolutely, obviously is. That goes without saying. But I just imagined it wouldn't be that hard to try and like link up your voice to what I've edited here, because we knew there's certain things we want to show, and I figured that'd be the best way. Yeah, that was fucking terrible. Because number one, I was doing it based on my tempo and how I talk, and I tend to speak really fast, not a lot of breaks, and then, you know, Jim has pregnant pauses every word, and you know, he's a little bit more drawn out, so all of a sudden I was like, fuck, Jim, you gotta say this, different, you gotta do that. So all of a sudden it became almost impossible. Yeah, it became almost impossible to do it that way. So, then we smartened up and we're like, okay, well, let's just talk and then do video to it. And, you know, it is funny because you look at those early videos and, like, you figured it took us almost a year to get 100. Was it a year to get 100 subscribers?
It was a year to get 100 subs.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that we stuck with that alone was pretty good because, you know, not that we're anywhere near huge, but the fact that we're on the cusp of 3,000 subs now, and we're averaging like a couple, easily over 100 every month, says something. It's like that's crazy because it's like, man, it would have been so much easier just to stop doing this shit. And I look back at the old reviews, and not that I'd ever want to go back and re-review something, but it's like, I'm actually really glad we started with the shittier games that we did because, it's not games we super, I don't have an affinity for Urban Champion. I'm not going to be like, oh man, we didn't say the right things to that. But, yeah, it's very, very interesting. We're obviously sticking with it, but I know one of the things I see you just wrote to Melissa, and you can talk a little bit more to this, but, YouTube is the main place to go. You could do Vimeo, and you could just directly upload to your site, but if you want to have people actually see your shit...
Hey, Bri. Yeah? Would now be a good time to start promoting our VidMe page?
Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about, so... Why don't you give a little history lesson on VidMe and how we did on it and what's happened since starting to go on it?
So we've been on VidMe for, what, I'd probably say about a year now. And not that we ever really promoted it or really did anything with it. We just kind of use it as a mirror for our YouTube videos. So I've been uploading the old back catalog onto there. And I mean, I think I got through all the Simpsons reviews. That's where like it basically held off right now. And yeah, we're at like 28 subscribers and maybe 400 views total. So if people are wondering why that platform died, not saying that we were going to save it or do well on it or anything, but holy shit, like on a good day we can still do that on a video after a week if we get lucky with the right algorithm and blah blah blah. Or before it changed, we'd get that within a week at least.
Oh, for sure.
So a year, like our best viewed video maybe had 20 some views on there, so yeah, that was not a platform that was ever going to challenge YouTube. And from what I heard from around, like it was kind of run shitty, they never promoted people, blah blah blah, so yeah, it's going bye-bye.
When you told me about that platform, I was like, what the fuck is VidMe? Like, I had no idea, like, didn't hear a peep about it. And then when I looked into it, I was like, okay, it's a different platform. Like, Vimeo kind of sets itself as that's the video platform for professionals. Like, that's where you do professional videos. That's kind of its gimmick. So I thought for sure VidMe would be one of those, like, you know, have a gimmick to it. It didn't at all. It just was what it was. So I don't even know where you heard about it or who you heard about it from. But
you know where it came from? The first kind of like YouTube purge, like getting rid of certain channels or like bot channels, and the first big like hit to advertising like a year or two ago. That's where a lot of the YouTubers started to upload their stuff because they're like, oh shit, YouTube's dying. We need to have a backup. We see how that worked out. So, but yeah, you have the Vimeos, you have the Daily Motions of the world. Amazon kind of has a video hosting thing now, but it's like really specific. So, like, YouTube's still the place you got to be. Twitch's video uploading still hasn't even taken off yet. So,
yeah, and that's the thing is, like, you know, I kind of would hope Twitch, stay what you're doing. YouTube, stay what you're doing. Like, you don't need to be all-encompassing with everything. And I know that, you know, will mean nothing and it'll never change anything. But, like, YouTube Live, I remember we talked before for a while about, like, what makes the most sense to keep uploading, like, live streams, like what we're doing right now. We could do YouTube Live for sure, but it is a hell of a lot more effort. Like, Twitch is easy to do. You can just, you know, for the most part, you do it right through your PS4 or your Xbox One. It's much more accessible. And even though, obviously, we're YouTube first and our YouTube Lives did pretty well on the streams, just didn't seem worth it. So it's like, you know, you got to put to a degree, you got to put all your eggs in a basket. I feel like when you start separating your duties and you're like trying to like spread yourself too thin, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a balance. Like, everything's got their niche. I really do wish something would challenge YouTube because it needs competition for the way it's handling business. Like, YouTube doesn't care about anyone but what would be on TV right now anywhere. So, like, there's a reason that the biggest channels are now Jimmy Kimmel or James Corbin or fucking Fallon and shit like that. Like,
for sure.
They don't even give a shit about PewDiePie anymore. Like, they don't care about people like that. They just want to be, you know, they want to be TV.
They definitely want to be more mainstream. And, you know, to your point of they don't give a shit, I think that actually, I don't know if I would fully say that's a YouTube thing. I think that's more of a mainstream media. Like, I think they don't know how to deal with the fact that they're not getting the kind of views that you would want for a major TV pro. Like, if you put out however much money to produce a program and it's not getting that many views, and then, oh shit, but on YouTube you're getting like 60 million views, but our TV ain't getting shit. Because people just aren't watching it that way. Like, so they almost had to adapt their style to it. And I don't know if, I'm sure, you know, once they tie with YouTube and they pay to get it promoted a little better, that can be the case too. But yeah, like I said, I just have to put that more on the actual mainstream media, not so much like YouTube. That was a conscious thing they did. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a weird thing where they both realize they need each other, but like a lot of TV specifically does things to try and get that viral hit on YouTube, which
for sure.
I think that's dumb, but you know, it's kind of it's promotion. It's all about promotion anyway.
Oh yeah, I mean, more people probably watch SNL clips on YouTube than actual SNL. You know, same with like Jimmy Kimmel and all that shit. And that's not saying like that's not nothing against any of those, but yeah, people want shit digestible. When we started YouTube channels, like the big thing was like, don't have a video over 10 minutes, like, or it won't get no views. And then algorithms changed, and it's like, you gotta have a video over 10 minutes. And it's like, you know, if you're trying to specifically cater your content just to reviews, it becomes very obvious. I think one of the most annoying things I find right now is every video trying to be big. I think it's an automatic must that you have someone looking at a product or looking at the screen with their mouth wide open with some effect behind them. It's like, can't believe I opened the box and this was inside, and you know, a shocked person on the front. Like that's a thumbnail that is a must now. You know, and it's like everything comes in waves. It's just funny. Like I feel like most viewers can read behind the bullshit, and you know those are channels that ain't gonna survive. Like how many strictly Call of Duty channels popped up when Call of Duty was in its heyday, and how many are still around? You know.
Oh yeah, not many.
But I mean,
like maybe White Boy and Ali A are still like big. But I know there's a ton of them that I used to watch that aren't around anymore.
Oh, for sure. And, you know, if you're too niche, you're not going to be able to sustain. But, you know, if you're going off even people who are, like, pretty much only a Nintendo channel, they've had to adapt to being a kind of everything channel. That shit will not stay forever.
Oh, yeah. Actually, Brian, give me 2 quick minutes. I'll be right back. Do you have the stream in front of you? Or the chat?
Yep.
Okay. Try and work with them, because I'll be right back.
Okay.
I think you know.
Oh, I know. Alright, so cocktails. I'm going to do my best. Obviously, I'm actively playing a game while trying to do this. So, I'm not even sure what you guys are talking about. But, I mean, cocktails, I'm sure as someone, you're like us. You started fairly recently with YouTube. It's definitely a struggle to figure out, you know, you want to do things popular, but you want to do content you enjoy. And, you know, I'm sure sometimes and I can't say I'm sure, maybe you've done videos where you're like, maybe I wouldn't have done this video if I wasn't just trying to get some views, because you want your channel to grow and you want it to do well. But you also don't want to be stuck doing a certain type of video or a certain genre of gaming just to appease everyone, if that makes any sense. By the way, these zombies, I don't like them. Snarkcast was on with me earlier, and he knows this is my most hated goddamn zombie map. I just want to get to level 10 so I can say I've completed this mother effing challenge. That's all I want right now.
I know who to blame if I get infected.
Stop it. All I want right now is a good perk. I don't even know where I gotta go. Whoa. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Ay, Dios mío. I keep getting to level 9, but I can't get over that hump to level 10. It's really pissing me off. I don't even see what's coming down.
Payback's a bitch! Just so you know, so is Russman.
Come on, elevator. Yeah, I see you're working on your Fallout. So, is that your fresh start, or is that new? Yeah, cocktails. The other thing I'll say for sure, you talked about, you know, making a channel unique. So, you know, I think your channel, our channel, it has similar ideas. You know, alcohol, gaming, that's not anything, you know, neither of us obviously were the first ever created, but we both have our spins on it. And, you know, we tried to make sure, you know, you don't want to say you're copying anyone, but you just want to see who's out there, who's doing what. And, you know, the one thing I noticed is when we would try to reach out to other channels, and I don't want to call out any channels, not even saying channels that were even semi-like us, people were really weird in the community, especially if they don't know you or they feel you're trying to do something. And, you know, we would write emails just like, hey, like, would you mind checking this out? Like, look at this review, or, you know, whatever we were doing at the time. Most of the time it was only the reviews. And I would just say, hey, you know, would you mind checking this out, see what you think? Some of them never responded. And I don't get that because one of the things we try and do all the time is answer every single... If someone's going to spend the time to send us a comment, especially because we're not big at all, like, you can answer somebody. You don't got to be a dick and just, you know, avoid people. I don't really like the whole, you know, oh, sub for sub or shit like that. But if you just want to ask us a question or you want me to check out your stuff, sure, absolutely. You know, like, you should be willing to help people because we were all there at one point or another. I don't know. That's just how I think about it. I'm also...
I'm back.
Hi, Jim. But yeah. Yeah, like, a lot of people, you know, to that point, Melissa, like, a lot of people, it was just, especially if we were trying to do a specific type of video that I knew people were good at, asking them just for an idea or this or that, they would just avoid the shit out of us. So, once again, that was one of the driving things I think pushes us to make sure we answer anyone that sends us stuff, because it doesn't take long to answer a comment or, you know, even an email from people. And we've gotten some interesting ones, but it is what it is.
Actually, surprisingly, for the most part, nothing really that bad, though.
No. Yeah, I won't go into what we were just talking about. I just covered it all. All right, so you're back.
That's
you're refreshed.
I am... God damn it, no connect. Go away.
All right, Jim, so it's your turn for one of the things I said you got to come up with.
All right, so... Let's see here. We'll start off with an overrated,